What's up, fight fans? This your boy Upper Echelon. I'm coming to you with some big news right now. Over at the Big Fish Camp, man down, strap season, Earl Spence and Derrick James and them, they're moving the young guy Frank Martin the way they move Earl Spence. Ain't no wreck being ducked over there. And just like his mentor Spence, Franks wants all the smoke. He taking all the challenges. They trying to make the biggest fights to make him the new biggest name in sports. Let's check it out. I would like to welcome you to the Upper Echelon. I want you to be honest and don't you lie. Don't you think of lying. Be for real. You not a Bud Crawford fan. You just hate Spence, right?
Want the truth? You can't handle the truth.
Hate it or love it, the underdog's on top. Frank Martin, the hottest thing at 135 since Gervonta Tank Davis. Yes, this young man came on the scene at the age of 16. Yeah, bars. Yeah, but Frank Martin, he's had an impressive journey. They've moved him over there at the man down strap season Big Fish market. They moved him the same way they moved Earl Spence. What they're doing is building a great fighter. They not creating one, they're building it from the ground up. Frank Martin, who started late, has an amazing IQ curve, and he's passing all expectations. And they're giving him different fights to help build the skills that he needs to make him a complete, perfect fighter. Sort of like how they did his mentor, Earl the True Spence. They give him fight after fight, tougher and tougher opponents. And they give him opponents that excel in the skills in which he lacks in. So that makes him a more complete fighter, because we know iron sharpens iron, and we know to be the best you got to beat the best, and to beat the best you got to meet the best, and when you meet the best you got to greet the best. That's how we do it over here. And just like Earl and Charlo, everybody under Derrick James know that they not ducking no smoke. They got the keys to game, they got the victory, and they got the coach. They have the stamina, they have the preparation. They have all the keys to success. All they have to do is get in there and execute, because Derrick James is going to make sure all of his fighters are ready for the fight. They're going to be ready to fight a 20-round fight dealing with Coach Derrick James. And the intellectual skills will continue to grow and prosper, because Derrick James is not just a teacher. He is a savant in this boxing world. And yes, Frank the Ghost Martin gets the benefit from being in the gym with Jermell Charlo and Earl the True Spence. He gets to pick up on both great champions' work ethic. And yes, his work ethic is amazing. That man stays in the gym. And with his recent victory over Michelle Rivera, it's been a lot of tongues wagging. They say they want to see him in there with Tank. Everybody's trying to call him out. He's the new hottest thing. But right now, he got a big moment, because Earl the True Spence is not trying to spoon feed this man right there. He's giving him a plate and telling him, eat what you want. That's what I'm talking about. When you don't spoon feed a person, you just put the plate on the table and tell your niggas get what you want. And that's what Frank Martin doing. Keyshawn Davis talking about me and Frank Martin's going to be a hell of a fight. Because lately, Keyshawn Davis has been chirping about he wants to smoke with Frank Martin. He also picked Michelle Rivera to outbox, outclash, and outsmash Frank the Ghost Martin. But yes, with the Jackson Mariñez fight and then the Michelle Rivera fight, we seen a night and day look of Frank the Ghost Martin. We seen him stop Mariñez in the late rounds, but we seen him outclass, outmaneuver, outbox, outblast Michelle Rivera, who was considered the #1 contender to Tank's belt. But yes, Keyshawn Davis, in his 7-0 fighting ability, he's looking for the big name too. And just like the Big Fish, Frank the Ghost Martin has the name. And Keyshawn wants the name, but is he ready to get in the ring with a Frank Martin? You know, he's the same one that came up short in the Olympics. But now, Top Rank is trying to move him on somewhat of a fast pace. Not as fast as Loma, but he's on a fast pace for success. But if he runs into Frank Martin, will he face success or will he face defeat? Well, one thing, when you lose to a great fighter, it only makes you better. So it's a loss in defeat. And his stock shouldn't lose much if he loses to Frank Martin, because that's what we want. The best fighting the best. And we might get that fight, but Earl sees a bigger fight on the horizon for Frank the Ghost Martin. And if he can't get that fight, then Keyshawn will be a great fight to fall back on. But Earl says, I don't know what he's talking about, but I like the Shakur fight better. The so-called boogeyman Shakur Stevenson. Yes, Errol Spence has that much faith in Frank the Ghost Martin that he's willing to put Frank in it on the line against Shakur Stevenson, who has yet to have a fight at 135, but who was the so-called boogeyman at 126 and 130. Everybody says everybody duck Shakur. Well, Frank Martin and Errol Spence said they're not ducking nothing. They said they're not popping nothing but collars right there. They said they want that Shakur smoke. They think it's a hype job, and if not, the best is fighting the best. And if a win like that will skyrocket Frank Martin into superstardom, as well as it will for Shakur Stevenson, who has yet to have a really super name on his resume. The biggest name on his resume is Oscar Valdez, but you know, he's mediocre, pretty decent at best. He's not a superstar like Frank the Ghost Martin. And Frank is on that fast track. So that will be a major fight. A major step up like the Michelle Rivera. But Shakur Stevenson is not Michelle Rivera. He's arguably one of the most dangerous boxers out there. He may not have the power of Tank, but he has the skills, the fortitude, and the IQ to go along with being one of the best all time. If Frank the Ghost Martin can beat Shakur, there's no limit to what Frank can do. But even in a loss to Shakur, if it's a close match, it's still a win because Frank will be able to pick up skills in which he needs to go along and maybe get a rematch and beat him. But it doesn't matter. Derrick James is going to have him ready either way it go. But Frank versus Shakur or Frank versus Keyshawn Davis, either way, it's a great fight. And we'd love to see it. And we love to see how Frank Martin is fighting everybody. It's the best fighting the best. Just like Errol Spence. They're not ducking nobody. They're trying to clear out the division, run through it. And, you know, Frank Martin has power too. He's the same guy that put Virgil Ortiz on his ass. So that's all I got to say right now. This is Upper Echelon giving y'all a little update. And shalom, peace and blessings to everybody out there. Hit the subscribe, hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, you know, subscribe to me. You know, I'm going to keep this heat flowing. Back on my grind. And I'm out.